Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Lisa Morris on the line, and she's Managing Director over at AKS Family Partners, and this is part of our iConnections series where we bring you the best of those that attended and participated in iConnections in Miami. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be hosted by you.
All right. So we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, I want to get into AKS Family Partners and talk about really philanthropy, impact investing, what that means to you and how AKS Family Partners is fulfilling that mission. But before we do that, iConnections Miami. I know you were there. You were a speaker. Talk to me. What's the connection between you and iConnections? Is this the first time? Have you been in the past? Give me some of the backstory.
Well, this is the first time I had the pleasure of participating in Funds for Charity. It was a new initiative that the iConnections team put together this year. It was the inaugural. I had the pleasure of hosting a fireside chat with Callahan Walsh from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. But it was great to be on the advisory board and committee working with Ron Biscardi and others to really take the power of iConnections. You know, they're a massive organization. They do incredible work for GPs and LPs, but they decided to take that power and do something good for the world by creating Funds for Charity, where nonprofit organizations had the opportunity to meet with foundations and funders in the same way that GPs meet with LPs. And I think it was, for the first year, it was fantastic. We got so much great feedback. We had a very generous donor offer $1 million match, so the nonprofits that participated really got benefit, and we all had the benefit of meeting each other, learning from each other. It was really, truly a privilege to participate. And I also led a workshop on increasing donations through technology. So for me, it was really a win-win. Plus, I got to hang out in the green room and meet cool people like Big Pappy, even though I'm a Yankees fan. So it was pretty great. I'm not going to complain about it. Not going to complain.
That's amazing. And for it being an inaugural year to have that type of donation, that matching donation, and just to see it all, what a great kickoff, right? And you obviously know iConnections is huge, so it's only going to get bigger year over year. I already know, right?
I think so, and I think there's already plans to do it again next year.
Wow.
I just find it very moving. Obviously, since I work for a family office, I'm in the investment world. There are so many opportunities for investors to meet fund managers, to meet founders, but to be able to meet nonprofit organizations, because I also have a philanthropic role with the Family Foundation and then my own philanthropy, I found that really rewarding. And I hope that more organizations that deal with, for-profit funding might consider also finding a way to add a philanthropic component. I think it really makes it special. I know when I put together conferences, we always have some sort of team building activity that goes to charity. I was at a family office conference in Dallas, and they did a remarkable job of bonding us all together, packing little joy jars for the Jesse Reese Foundation, which is a cancer organization, and we were packing jars for kids that are sick in the hospital. And not only are you doing something great to bring a smile to the face of kids in the hospital, but you're also bonding with each other. So you're not just listening to panels. You're actually involved in an activity that feels good and does good, and it also brings you together. So I would encourage other conferences to add a component like that. I think it's very rewarding, and I think it's something that makes it a little bit different and a little more special.
What are some of the things that you're proud of that you've done in your philanthropic effort? What kind of things have you worked on? I'm curious.
Well, I've worked on many different nonprofits, and I've been a board member. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of great organizations. Even now, I do philanthropic with Force Family Office, which is a network of families. But my personal best, for me, I lost my dog. My dog was the love of my life. He was like my child. And I really wanted to do something special in his honor. And so I went to my local animal rescue asking what I could do. And it turned out that I was made aware of a really important crossover. I was made aware that a lot of victims of domestic violence, when they go to leave their abuser, if the organization that's helping them doesn't allow pets at their shelter, a lot of them go back to abuse. And so when the animal shelter told me about that problem, I said, that's what I want to do to fix it. So in honor of my dog, we actually started a special program at that rescue that specifically houses the pets of the domestic violence victims until they can get safely relocated, and then we reunite them. And then that turned into a bigger project because then we were approached by addiction organizations.
Yeah.
Well, no, it turns out people sometimes that need to go get help, they have to go to rehab for 6 weeks and have no one to watch their pet.
Well, that makes so much sense.
So we're basically helping the animal rescue save animals, helping people get help at the same time. And I would say I'm really proud of that because I love things that solve multiple problems at once.
Oh, that
practical
makes
solutions.
So much sense, especially because if they don't have anybody to take care of the dog or this or that, then all of a sudden the dog's gone, and that's oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's actually something that really stops a lot of people from getting help. A lot of veterans are on the street because the shelters don't they served in war with these dogs. They're not abandoning them. And so this is something that people can do. I mean, if you want to help veterans, if you want to help people with addiction, if you want to help domestic violence, you probably are not thinking animal rescue. But it's actually a really practical way, and it's actually something that a lot of people don't think about, but really can make a huge difference in getting that person the help they need. So I'm very, very excited by that. I ended up joining the board of the nonprofit Animal Rescue, and I visit every week. It just gives me so much joy to see, to see what's happened there.
For your dog. What a great memory for your dog. That's amazing.
And actually when my dog was alive as well, I wanted to make him a Philanthropist and a patron of the arts.
I
So
can't with you, Lisa.
It's true. So he actually rescued a movie theater out in the Poconos. It's named after him, the Winston Jones Theater. And when he died, they put up a big plaque saying our patron of the arts. And so my little dog
I love it.
has a philanthropic legacy. And I give all of my philanthropic giving in his name. And it makes me laugh when I get letters from nonprofits saying, dear Mr. Jones, will you buy a table again next year? And they don't know they're writing to a dead dog. But I do.
Oh, my gosh.
I do.
Oh, what a great story. Oh, my gosh.
So,
that's something
that
else.
gives me joy. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. What a great story. I love it. This is amazing. When you think about impact investment, I love the way I'm saying this word, you're not saying it, but I like the way you humanize this, like in terms of making it. And you've also made it fun too, in my opinion, like in terms of how you're giving and what you're doing. And also even tactile, like when you're talking about doing something like physically, I think it's pretty cool. But for those that are listening that want to get involved, and I just mean in giving or doing other things, but they don't exactly know how or what, like, where do you recommend people start, like when it comes to their search and how they want to give? I'm curious on that one.
Philanthropic giving or investment?
Giving.
Okay. Well, philanthropic giving, there are so many ways. You can go on Charity Navigator if you want to find out about different nonprofits. There is an endless number of nonprofit organizations that need help. You can do a simple search in your own community, but rarely do people not know how to give. I think the harder thing is if people don't have money to give. If you don't have money to give, you can sometimes feel like, well, then there's not much I can do. And that's not true either. I think that every single person can be a philanthropist. There's an organization that I give to called Dollar Donation Club. For $1 a month, you can be part of a big philanthropic mission. Because what they do is they pool all the capital together, like the one world's biggest fund, and then they work for various nonprofit organizations. If you can't even do $1 a month, you can volunteer. You can take time out of your day. I know this sounds really cheesy, but honestly, you can take time out of your day simply to give a few people a compliment that day. It's so amazing what a difference you can make in someone's world when they're not expecting somebody to say something nice.
Yeah.
So everybody can do something. Every single day, everybody can do something. But, you can find a place to volunteer locally so you can give of your time. There's an organization that I support called We're In This Together, WITTforever.com. And it's for people that are going through illness. A lot of times when people get sick, things become very expensive that didn't, cost them money before, like being able to walk their dog or clean their house or cook a meal. It becomes difficult. And so they don't necessarily want to feel like a burden on anyone, but a lot of times they really do need help. And so this site is for people that are going through illness. They can create a free account. It's like a wedding registry where they post what they actually need as they need it. And then friends and family can follow, and they can go along just like a registry and take something off the board if they can do it. Now, if you don't know the person, you can only give money. Obviously, you can't have strangers giving service. But if you're an actual friend, you could give service. So let's say a friend posts that they need a ride to the hospital. You could either send them money for an Uber, or you could say, call them and say, I see you need a ride. I'm going to give you the ride. So people can really help each other. And I love the idea of we're in this together, because I love the idea that you can go on and see exactly what somebody needs instead of just guessing, right? You know, people get sick and friends send them casseroles and flowers, and that's very nice. But what they actually need is someone to watch their kid for them for 2 hours. So I think it's better to find out what a person really needs and help that way. There are so many amazing nonprofits. I personally am involved in multiple nonprofit organizations, but charity is best when it's personal. So what I tell everyone to do is think about the problem in the world that they most want to solve, because it's personal. It's different for everyone. For someone, it might be mental health. For someone, it might be education for kids. For someone, it's animal rescue, or it's saving a tree. Whatever it is for you, figure out what it is that you want to make a difference at, and then I guarantee you a quick Google search, or nowadays an AI search, you will find a multitude of organizations that would love nothing more than to get your help. You can also help by posting things. The power of social media, you can just post things and help people that way. You know, they could share their projects. You could get your own friends and family involved. There's so much that you can do. And I think there's so much you can do to get kids involved too. I think really good parents should be getting their kids to be connected to some sort of bigger social mission from a young age, because that will carry them through their entire lives.
I'll tell you, Lisa, I see why they put you on that stage, though. On the panel, you got me all fired up over here. Let's go it's great.
Well, I truly believe that, like, this is the thing that, you know, the reason I named my dog Winston Jones was after Winston Churchill, because he said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And I think that's the most beautiful phrase. And I think it's definitely my personal mantra. I say to myself all the time, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Because when you live in the world of finance and you live in the world of you know, exceptional wealth, it's so easy to get caught up in, you know, can I make an extra 2% here? You know, and it's like people just forget, like, are you kidding? We have enough. I'm not saying don't make a lot of money. I'm all for making a lot of money. I'm a capitalist, but I'm a capitalist with a heart. So if you're fortunate enough to work hard and make a lot of money, put that money to good work, either through investment or through philanthropy. It doesn't have to be one or the other. People should also know they can, if they do have a donor-advised fund, a philanthropic vehicle, that can actually be used to invest in early-stage companies and de-risk them. So that's something I talk about all the time when I do panels. A lot of people have money parked in a donor-advised fund just sitting there, and that money could be put to work. That money could be fueling entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship and small business is what grows the economy and what grows the country and employs people. It gives purpose. So I encourage anyone that has a donor-advised fund to not leave it parked and to start putting it to work.
Love it. Lisa, this has been a lot of fun having you on the show today and getting to know more about your work and your philanthropy and your dog, Winston. What a wonderful, like, and his ongoing how do you say it, Paulanthropy?
I said Paulanthropy. Yeah, I have a lot of different words. I call him
Paulanthropic. Hold on, let me try and get it. Paulanthropic activities, like.
Well, he can be. You can call him 3 different things: a philanthropist, a Paulanthropist, or a patron of the arts, which might be my favorite one, because we support a lot of artistic endeavors. So I like patron. But that's another thing for those of you out there that have pets that you love. Give them a legacy through philanthropic. Why not? They'll be remembered.
Amazing. Lisa, if somebody wants to follow up, if they want to connect or learn more about what you're up to, how do they do that?
Well, you could go to my website, which is Lisa at lisamorrisimpact.com. Pretty right on the nose, right? Or you can find me on LinkedIn. Also, if you type in Lisa Morris Impact, I should come right up.
Wonderful. For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can connect with Lisa. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Yes, you heard me right. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe and follow button. And Lisa, thanks again so much for coming on. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really a blast.